Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. It is Sunday, March 20th, 2022. Tomorrow's the start of spring, right? Was that a vernal equinox? Oh, that's a nice sound to it. The start of spring. And what breeds spring like a little spring cleaning out of the dramatic section of our closets? Does that even make sense? Doesn't matter. This is a free video for you guys on a Sunday. Speaking of free, fans feel duped at the $12 charge. They had to watch an exclusive virtual event by the Chatty Broads and Chatty Bros, which they believed was set to be a live event. We're going to look into this because, listen, there's no football. Baseball's kind of lame, and we don't have the TV show on for the next 4 months. So I was thinking to myself, boy, there's really going to be nothing to talk about. And then all of a sudden, the Chatty Broads decided to potentially dupe their audience. They're being called the Chatty Frauds. Now, listen, I'm the first to defend them. And I already have defended them, so I'm going to review the information and adjust my opinion accordingly, because that's what we do. Now, this is very meta. I don't like to make recap videos or reaction videos of reaction channels reacting to the show. This is like 7 different generations down the human centipede, right? I'm basically at the back of the human centipede. There's not much left coming to me nutrition-wise, as I'm a bottom feeder on this industry. But you know what? Sometimes that's a fun place to be. So be a lobster with me, and let's get clawed, and let's get some White Claws and enjoy this story that we have here. So if you watch my story on Friday, charging money for their podcast, fans are mad. Fans got very upset that the Chatty Broads decided to do a live event where they charged $12. Now, actually, we'll jump forward to, they did this. They charged $12 for a live event, Almost Paradise, where they, did an event over the summer, donated a few bucks to charity. So I think people were assuming this would be a live event, but then we find out it was actually an exclusive virtual show. Now, words are important, and it's not to say they didn't advertise it as live. If they advertised the show as live and they ended up just uploading it and it wasn't live, then that's a deceptive practice, and audiences can do with that what they want. My whole thought with creators and audience is that the audience get something from the creators: entertainment, camaraderie, friendship, advice, entertainment, information, whatever it may be. Style advice, if you have a creator who has a new cream sweater that looks pretty good with a nice aloe hat, whatever. You get something from them. It's a two-way street. Now, when you feel like you're no longer getting something from your audience, like, listen, I've got a Patreon, right? I charge $5, $8, $12, or $50, or maybe even a $100 tier. I've got like a tier that's like, look, if you're rich and you want to give me money, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But by all means, you can get all the same content for $5 as well. That's what the tier I have. Now, some people have decided, I used to have my Patreon be about my dating advice podcast, and now it's mainly about Bachelor recap stuff. And people have decided that it no longer serves what they need, and they have unsubscribed from my Patreon. Every month, I lose 20 people and I gain 25. It's just one of those give and takes. It's just what happens as a creator. Audiences walk out, audiences come in. Now, it's your role as an audience member to decide what you want to do with a show. If you feel like you've been duped and you feel disrespected, you can no longer support them, and you can feel upset and all those things too. You can you can want to support them, you can critique them and let those critiques get heard from them so that in the future they'll do better. All of these things are good things, right? But there isn't and there is an entitlement that exists where it's like, we've supported you this whole time, and it's like, well, hold on a second. They create and people consume, and that's the two-way street. So while you might feel entitled as a consumer because you've sat through their ad reads and this and that, you've also enjoyed. You've gotten dopamine rushes, and you've built this oxytocin bond because you feel like you know them and all those things. So it goes both ways. But obviously, creators want to make sure that they are as authentic as possible so that they don't deceive their audience, and it looks like there might be a problem.
Look, there's girl.
So this was, let's get right into this. The Chatty Broads advertised a paid live stream, which was not live. So the question becomes, did they advertise it as a paid live stream? And someone commented, all these sensitive haters, I had fun. F all these broke ass lames going off about $10. And of course, Becca liked that, the co-creator of Chatty Broads. People says, I was kind of whatever about the $12 tickets, but advertising it as live when it's not is super uncool. Someone else said, I am kind of broke, I can't lie. But obviously that's like, you want to be able to come to your audience and give them multiple ways to view your content. My view, though, with charging the $12 If it's just about the money, is that, look, it's an a la carte pricing. If you got all the content for free, that doesn't mean you're entitled to the paid content. But of course, if you thought it was going to be live, then we have a problem.
Look,
so
I'll admit.
Let's go back here to, this was what the latest advertisement was, which clearly says exclusive virtual show, which doesn't necessarily mean that it was live. But if you look at their past exclusive virtual shows that were live, you can understand that there could be some discrepancy there. What's the big deal? Well, on a live, an audience feels like they can chat, like they're there in the moment. If you feel like you're there in the moment with them, and then it's like going to live theater and finding out that they're they're just hitting the play button. Does that make sense? Like they're not actually there with you guys. So I can understand how that could be upset. And people are upset about other things. They've ignored a lot of criticisms lately on their takes on Kanye. And, it comes down to the question, does their mental health, what's more important? Hearing the criticism from the audience or trying to avoid that, because no matter what they do, they feel, I'm not putting words in their mouth, Becca has said this, right? That no matter what take she has, people are going to get upset and complain. So after I made my kind of thoughts be known about this, which was that they have the right to charge a price. It's a free market. And, when it comes to content like this, if people don't want to watch it, let it bomb at the box office. If people start to watch it, I believe I said loyal fans, like the loyal fans will watch it or they won't. And someone says, well, loyalty shouldn't just be defined by the money people pay. And I totally understand that. But the money essentially sets people away. Like if I was to have a free event as a stand-up comedian, some random people off the streets might come. They might not value it as if someone was paying $10 for. That's art, folks. That's art. I went to a Vegas show over the weekend and it was, $160 tickets. Pretty good price. We were so excited to see it. The whole audience was just white hot on fire. They had so much fun. The energy was so good because we valued the art we were consuming. Whereas, you can see Yo-Yo Ma playing violin. If you don't know that you're listening to a virtuoso violinist, you in the subway or something, to use an example, you might not stop to appreciate that art. Art is so subjective in that way. And you might go, Dave, how are you comparing chatty broads to art? Well, whether you call it art, or creativity, or whatever they do as influencers, that's what it is. Either you value it or you don't. Now, it doesn't mean you have to put your money into it, but that's an indicator, and that's what gets them out of bed to make this content. People say, well, I shouldn't have, we used to get this for free. Well, they don't want to do it for free anymore, So I totally back them creatively on the creator side of things, saying, hey, they decide they don't want to do it anymore, fine. Apparently, months ago, they said, we're not going to recap the show because it's too toxic to us. But they did say they were going to do like a finale recap. That's fine. And if you don't want to be a part of it, you don't want to be a part of it. But of course, now we're talking about the idea of that it was sort of implied that it was going to be a live event. So here's the bros promoting it. I'll just play the first minute, and then I'll play what the broads, I hate to call them broads, but that's their name, right? Here's what the bros said. I'll play what the broads said, and we'll come up with a final opinion on the matter.
It's coming.
Dude, are you pumped?
I am so pumped.
It's going to be unhinged, not safe for work, insane. We're going to be doing shots. It's going to be hot.
It's after hours.
After hours. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. If you guys remember last time we did a live show, it was lit. We definitely were just like going off the hinges.
It's very
unfiltered.
different. Very fun. Group dynamics, couple dynamics.
So it's going to be this Saturday at 6 p.m. And if you get a ticket,
he did say last time he did a live show.
It's going to be fun. If you guys remember last time we did a live show.
Okay, so look, hey, I'm not a lawyer here, and we're not taking this to trial. They did imply that it was a live show because last time it was a live show. Okay, that's fine.
Hey, Jess, you know what I heard's happening?
What,
Becca? Why don't you tell me?
You get mass outrage by your audience?
I heard we're doing a little something special this weekend.
It's called a Reddit thread and an extra 2 videos by Dave Neal.
Weekend, if you're listening to this in the future. So I heard that on Saturday, March 19th, we are releasing an exclusive show. That's right.
What type of show, Becca?
All right, so far, no mention that it's going to be live.
Well, you know how we said we weren't going to cover The Bachelor anymore?
Yes.
Well... we couldn't stay away.
I'm so sorry, but all of the clips, all of the teases, and I'm going to just say this right now.
Yeah, they picked a bad season to take off, I think. For anyone who goes, oh, this season was so boring, I go, did you not watch? Check out my analytics. This past month was the highest viewed month that my channel has had since Matt James.
Now I've watched one of the recent episodes and I have a lot to talk about.
So Justin and I decided we're going to watch the last couple episodes of the Bachelor season because apparently it's a juicy one.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to join the bros and we are going to have a Bros, and Final Rose special exclusive show that we're going to be releasing this weekend. And you'll only be able to access it for what?
A couple of days.
Yeah.
A couple of days you'll be able to access it. So
Right, so far, I understand the audience being upset that it wasn't live, but at the same time, I don't hear them really pushing it live. I could be wrong. I'm not going to go through 10 of their episodes. So far, the bros said, oh yeah, last time we did a live, sort of implied, but obviously these are the drivers of the traffic, and they're saying it's an exclusive show. All right, listen, I know. You don't love it, but we're trying to be objective here.
you can tune in when it premieres Saturday at 6 p.m.
Do we say live?
Or if you purchase that, you'll be able to watch it for...
They kind of knew it wasn't going to be... You can tune in when it premieres. It was a premiere. When you do a premiere on YouTube, I'm assuming that's where it was, it unlocks the live stream. So, it doesn't mean it's live content.
a few more days afterwards, but then it's gone.
It's an exclusive virtual show.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
we're pretty excited about putting it out there.
It's going to be a fun time. Excited to be with the bros. Excited to dive into this. And
look, I respect wanting to do something behind a paywall. I do. They get a lot of hate. They want to be raunchy. They don't want to play by the algorithm. They want to give it to the, I get it. I get it. It's like doing a late night comedy show. It's like, all right, we're going to do a midnight comedy show. Anything goes. It's going to be wild. Don't get offended. That type of deal. It exists. If you want to go to the show, go. If you don't. Now, there's other people that are going to say, but we've followed the Chatty bros all year, and now we can't watch them. I understand. Listen. I get the point. I understand it.
And make sure that you are on the lookout. We will be dropping the link soon for tickets. Tickets will be $10. And like we said, you can access this virtual show when it premieres at 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Premieres 6 p.m., not live.
Then it is gone.
Yep.
So we will make sure on all the Instagram accounts, we will be posting the links.
Okay, so I don't hear anything, guys. Let's see if there's anything else. By the way, how's their views doing? They get about 200,000 views a month. Not bad. Are they getting subscribers or losing subscribers? All right, so they're not getting any new subscribers now that they're not recapping the show. Listen, when you want to pivot directions, this is what happens. Their click-through rate is going to go down because people that were there just for Bachelor are no longer going to watch. Their bet that they're doing is that enough people will stick around that became fans of them, and I think it's really smart that they've got the bros doing what the bros do. I've yet to be invited onto the show, but I think I would fit in pretty nicely. But then again, even though I've been endorsed by their channel, I don't think they really like me too much. But I'm being quite honest in saying I think that the hate that they're getting is... Well, look, as an audience base, they might lose some followers. Like I've said, I've got friends who took Spotify deals for millions of dollars and no longer were, and were put behind a paywall. Or no, not Spotify, Lumini. A lot of people took the Guys We Banged, podcast Guys We Effed. They took millions of dollars to go to Lumini, and because of that, it's a $6 a month thing, and they lost a big fan base. But they were like, look, rather than have 50 or maybe probably 100, rather than have 100,000 fans, let's do 20,000 fans. Let's do 20,000 fans that pay to watch us. They're going to be the real supporters. As an audience member, you don't get to see all the microaggressions and all the criticisms that they deal with, which can be a lot, But again, I understand how people could be upset. Pretty funny she's laughing at broke people when she's the one so thirsty and desperate for clout that she's posting a fake live stream to scam fans out of money that they actually earned. Must be fun to sit on your high horse all day making Bondi boost ads. Congrats on being handed everything that so many of our generation are longing for. Financial stability, housing, and the ability to have a family. What an absolute dunce. Yikes. All right. Okay, these are some... I can't believe people really gave these idiots influencers any money at all. Go get yourself some Chipotle instead. Mocking people for being broke when she literally hit the lottery by being cast on the show and has a career that adds absolutely nothing to society. With today's prices, some of those broke people are teachers, social workers, caregivers, not to mention all the people who are still digging themselves out of a financial hole after losing income over the last couple of years. Becca is such a fraud. All right, so those are just some random comments I found. Look, I'll say this. Rather than here's the abundance principle I believe in. Rather than get upset at the chatty broads for their financial situation, you talk with your money. Decide not to support them or support them. And if you're in a tough spot because you're a social worker, teacher, or all these things, I get it. I've worked plenty of minimum wage jobs. I've been so open about my struggle and my experience. I even had someone today going, Dave, yeah, but YouTube recommends all of your channels, all of your videos, where there's all these other creators it doesn't recommend. And I go, you only see what you see, right? You didn't see the 7 years that I did this for free before I started making money, which is absolutely true. I've recapped this show, while being late for my minimum wage job, like everyone else who's struggled. The only advice I can give is to not say, here's the advice I would give to people. If you look at this situation and go, I can't believe they're making so much money doing something that they love, even though they don't have any credibility or this or that, find something that you love to do and start building equity with that. And by equity, I mean creating a TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or Patreon or if you like to write on medium.com, right? Medium.com pays you to write articles. Find a way to share your creative gift. And if you don't think that you've got that gift yet, find a way to start practicing. If you have to make YouTube videos for 5 years as some sort of grad school before you pop off and are able to buy a home through your YouTube channel, by all means, start working towards your goals. Leap in the net will appear. If you don't like what they're doing in their business practices, you get to vote with your dollar. So I totally understand the people that are upset, and I totally understand the people that are like, all right, it was sneaky at best. I think it was sneaky at best in my point of view. I don't think they meant like they were going to be frauding people, but they have done live events before, and this was an exclusive virtual show. If anyone has any time codes or videos where they actually promoted this as a live, let me know. That changes the conversation. I hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday. We're going to have so much content coming to you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, free live stream on me. I'll see you guys then. Bye, everybody.